Hey YouTube, Benson today. So this message today is on the idea, why denial destroys progress and ultimately acceptance unlocks it. So let me ask you a question. Are you moving fast but not moving forward? See, denial feels safe, but it's the most expensive comfort zone in the world. It keeps you busy while it robs you of your future. Progress begins the moment you trade denial ultimately for acceptance. So what's costing you more right now? Facing the truth or running from it? Let's find out. Let's run the intro.
Hold your breath, all the moves we're making.
So let me ask you something powerful. How many of you have been running in a certain direction but feel like you're staying in the same place? See, how many of you are maybe working harder yet not moving forward? You're burning energy, sweating effort, exhausting yourself, but the scenery never seems to change. This is what denial does. Denial gives you the illusion of movement without any real progress. It's like being on a treadmill. You're running, but you're really getting nowhere. See, here's the problem. Denial is the silent killer of progress. It whispers everything's fine when the numbers are tanking. It says I'm okay when the truth is you're, exhausted. It covers over the cracks until the foundation literally collapses. And the reason denial is so dangerous is because it feels safe. It shields us from pain, but it also blocks us ultimately from progress. See, you can't build on a lie. You can't grow from a falsehood. Denial delays. And in delay, opportunity dies. See, how many of you remember the story of Kodak? The company literally invented the digital camera back in the 1970s. They had engineers who saw the writing on the wall, but instead of embracing it, leadership buried the idea in the drawer. Why? Because accepting it would mean facing the reality that their golden goose, which was film cartridges, was dying, and their whole business model would have to change. For years, they doubled down on denial, investing more in film while the world went digital. Denial literally destroyed them. They had the keys to the future in their hands. But, their refusal to face reality led to ultimate bankruptcy. Acceptance could have unlocked reinvention. Denial chained them to the past and cost them the very market that they created. See, denial is like painting over rust. On the surface, it looks fine, it looks shiny, it might feel smooth, presentable maybe, but underneath, the corrosion is continuing to spread. And one day the whole structure breaks, cracks, and it crumbles. Acceptance is stripping off the paint, facing the ugly truth, and doing the hard work to rebuild. It's not pretty at first, but it's the only path to strength, and it's the only path to a good finish. See, I'm a big tennis fan, and Billie Jean King, in the 1970s, she recognized that women's tennis was underpaid, undervalued, and overlooked. Many players ignored it. Helping would change it. But King accepted the brutal reality. Women's athletes were not being taken seriously. By accepting that truth, she acted, founding the Women's Tennis Organization and increasing prize money. Today, every woman who cashes a check on the tennis tour does so because of Billie Jean King. Faced reality. Instead of denying it, progress was unlocked. Acceptance to the reality of the situation had to happen first. So here's a couple of questions for you. Where are you painting over rust in your own life? Putting a glossy finish on a failing project? Smiling maybe through a strained relationship, or ignoring health warnings as they're coming your way? Covering it with a shiny coat while underneath corrosion keeps spreading? What opportunities are currently slipping through your fingers because denial feels safer than the truth? Like the promotion you don't apply for, the market you ignored, or the relationship you never invested in. How much longer will you trade short-term comfort for long-term collapse? Settling for the easy excuse, the temporary fix, or the quick escape? See, while the real cracks in your foundation keep widening. Denial tends to feel like protection, but it's actually a poison. Acceptance stings at first, but it heals fast. So here's a couple of things that I want you to do. Stop sugarcoating. Say it in plain, with unfiltered clarity. Drop the polite disguises, strip away the spin, and let the truth land as it is, because only real honesty can start real progress, ultimately. Face the data. Numbers tend not to lie, but people do. Confront the metrics head on. Profit and loss sheets, customer churn, health stats or performance reviews. Data is the mirror that won't flatter you, but will show you the truth you need to act on. And the other thing is you've got to act on that truth. Make moves from reality, not from fantasy. Let your decisions be grounded in facts and clarity, not wishful thinking. See, rust only spreads until it's faced. Ignore it and it devours the whole structure. Confront it, you create the change to clean, strengthen, and rebuild on solid ground. Shadows shrink when you turn towards the light. What once looked menacing in the dark becomes small, manageable, and powerless the moment you choose to face it directly. And a wound heals only after it's cleaned. Like unattended, it festers, but when it's exposed, washed, and treated, the pain eventually goes away. Okay? So this is a new one. Denial delays, acceptance accelerates. You can't fix what you fake. Truth hurts, but lies always kill progress. So here's your call to action. Here's what I want you to do. Before this day is over, write down one area of your life or business where you've been in denial. One area where you've been painting over rust. Say it in plain, face it directly, because the moment you trade denial for acceptance, you trade running in circles for running towards progress. This has been Benson, Performance Capability. I hope you got some value out of this message. Please tune in for the next one. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon.